Hello, Professor. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, great.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Great. Excited to be back.
Yeah.
Are you driving
It's
today?
Sunday. No. Actually, we are off today.
Oh, nice.
Just we have some religious occasion.
Nice. Get to
Yeah.
enjoy your Sunday.
Yeah.
What time is it out there?
It's 4 p.m.
Okay, perfect. You're in Egypt, right?
No, I'm in Kuwait. Egypt, it will be 3 p.m.
Okay, Kuwait. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna wait about 3 more minutes, and then the meeting is already being recorded. So just so you guys know, use this link every single time for our meetings. This is in repeat until, the 14 sessions are over. Rodas, how are you? Rodas, Ollie, how are you?
Yes, sir. How are you? I'm good.
Doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, great. Rodas, where are you again?
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, nice. What time is it out there?
It's it's kind of confusing because our timing is, we have our own timing. Let me just check. It is 4 p.m.
Okay. What do you mean by having your own timing?
First of all, we have 13 months.
Okay.
And the timing, we start our day from the morning. So we say, like, for example, 12 a.m. in the morning. It's 12 in the morning means 6 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we on the evening, 6 p.m. it's 12 p.m. So we count on from what do you say? How do you say it? So 12 and then 1 to up to 12. So it's not 24 hours.
It's a 12-hour day.
Yes.
Ah.
So midnight is 6 p.m. here.
Is that when you guys go to sleep?
Yeah, technically, but we go to sleep earlier too.
Okay. Is it because of the weather, or
what do you mean? Us sleeping early or the timing?
Yeah, by sleeping, let's say early, because you said midnight, it's around 6 p.m. So are we going to sleep at 6 p.m. because, it gets darker, or
Yes. It gets dark. So now it's 4 p.m. So it gets dark on 6 p.m.
So, okay, so your usual
all the time.
Okay,
yes.
so your usual, everybody, so what time do they close the stores, let's say, or a supermarket?
Yeah. So usually they stay up to 9 p.m. 9 p.m. 10 p.m.
Your time. 9 p.m. your time.
No, your time. I'm converting it to your time.
Oh, okay. Nice. I learned something new. morning, Sean. Bro, thank you so much for teaching me so much.
Good morning, sir.
Anytime.
Morning. Ethiopia, beautiful place. I want to confirm that everybody was given the textbook. So give me a thumbs up or yes in the chat that you were given the textbook and the PowerPoint. Please, once again, my question is, if you were given the textbook and the PowerPoints, give me a thumbs up. And if you did not get the textbook and the PowerPoints, then go ahead and put a thumbs down. Because it was announced last Sunday that those items were posted on Moodle.
Yes, sir. Until now, we haven't found anything, sir, in Moodle.
You do not have it?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I think there's one book which says Marketing Management Marshall for
Correct.
I'm not sure if it's the right book.
That's it.
Okay, so it's an EPUB, I think.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Would it be possible to provide it in a PDF format?
I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out to see if they can provide it to you on the PDF format. Okay.
Okay, but for the PowerPoint, there's nothing in the Moodle.
So it's just the ebook, but not
Yes.
PowerPoint. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm hoping that everybody's having an amazing day. Once again, I want to thank you guys for attending the class, and I want to thank you guys for really spending some time with me and really spending some time with all of your classmates. It's a lot of fun when we get to see it more than just being a class, right? It's more than that. It's a moment for you to learn. It's a moment for me to learn. It's a moment for us to take ourselves to the next level and kind of spaced out from everything else that is happening. And we definitely take advantage of it as much as we can. So let's start by reviewing a little bit of what we learned last Sunday. I know we meet every Sunday. There hasn't been any assignments right now to like reinforce the learning and all that stuff. They will come. But as of right now, I want to be able to get that attention from you guys for this Sunday. So I'm not too focused on assignments and things like that, but I'm focused on you guys to have a great conversations and remember throughout the week. So a little review that we have is that value. Remember, we talked about value last Sunday, and we said value is remember and cost is not. So we tend to forget the price if the value and the benefits that we get out of the product is 10 times better, right? So we might say, oh, that was very expensive. But once you get the item that, and you see the value of it and how much you could do with that, then you tend to forget about what's, about what the cost was, what the price was. So I'm gonna give you an example. So for example, you buy a new computer. Um, if you buy a new computer, yes, the price the first times could be really expensive, but when you see the things that you could do with that computer, then it's completely different, right? You start forgetting about the price because you could do so many things with that computer. Give it an example. Let's say this class you're taking and you're getting an MBA through a computer. So you already realize that the value that comes with that computer is huge. or you might be able to own a website, a business, and run it through that computer. So that's the value, but you forget the price. So now, the next one that we need to remember is that we are problem solvers, and we work with all the departments in a company. So we are problem solvers. As marketers, we are problem solvers. I want you guys to remember that, because we're not so much those geeky type of person that will remember all the marketing terms and all the marketing definitions. But more than anything is, okay, we need to get more customers. That's a problem. Who's going to solve it? And that's you. We're losing sales, or we're getting too many promotions. We're losing profit because we have so many promotions. What's our solution, right? So the next one is actually one of the things that you guys need to remember is that people do not buy the product, but they buy the specific story or the reason why. So that's why companies put an emotional touch to every single product. That's to be able to get you to think of the story. So a lot of the times you tend to support family-owned businesses, right? Or you should buy this product because we're supporting this organization, this charity, right? Let's say I'm helping people with cancer if you purchase my product. So I'm touching your emotional side of it, and that's the reason why you end up purchasing a product from them. So a lot of the times, what I need you to think about is that I'm not buying a product, I'm really buying a story that comes with the product, and a story that could be generated by the product. So for example, Apple computers or Macintosh, they actually sell the story that when you buy their products, you become, a new entrepreneur, a new designer, a new person that is, taking yourself to the next level when it comes to your career path. So you're buying a story more than actually buying a product, and you're belonging into a group just because you bought that product. So it's something to keep in mind. Reason why is because when you create some type of a strategy or marketing plan or anything like that, it's important for you to think, okay, what's the reason why these people is actually buying from us, right? That's very, very important. Okay, so the okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. And like I said, once again, please confirm that you see my screen and you see it very well. We're going to start with chapter number 3, and we're going to cover chapter number 3 and chapter number 4 and a soft skill. So we could all learn from that. Start broadcasting. You guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so this is the PowerPoint from chapter number 3. Chapter number 3 pretty much discusses a little bit of what we just talked about, which is value. Value and benefits. So pretty much value, what we talked about last week is the definition of benefits that you get by paying a specific price. But like we said, value is not forgotten. It's just if it's really actually good for a for the customer, right? If there is no value, I will always remember that company as well, but for negative factors. So a benefit is something, some type of utility that the company and its products and services provide to a customer. A cost may be a financial time, opportunity cost, or otherwise. So what is it that we're looking to, let's say, for utility purposes? There has to be some type of form of utility. It has to be good and timing. It should save time. It should, you know, help me in certain places, or ownership. What is it that I get by owning this specific product? What's my benefit? Is it going to make my life better, right? Let's say, for example, headphones uh, or earplugs, like they call it in different places. But let's say headphones. Uh, what's the benefit that I get by buying something that is Bluetooth connected instead of being with a wire, right? So, okay, I can move around and I don't have to carry my cell phone with my headphones on me. I could just walk around with Bluetooth headphones, and that's my value and that's my benefit. Um, Now, when understanding value as a company, we also have to create a value proposition, which means what is it that, how am I communicating this value to the customers? Now, it could be a message, or it could be just your product communicating the features and the benefits. Now, it's not just the product, but it's also as a company, what is the value proposition that I'm offering? Uh, I'm not just offering computers and cell phones. I'm offering, a customer service department, a warranty department, a connection of many multiple different devices to help you succeed at your job. So that's my value proposition, and that's what's standing behind me, and that's what I want to be known for. So moving forward, so the value proposition in regard to customer satisfaction, this is really, really important because we want people to be able to return to us, and we want uh, people to return to buy more of our products and not to switch quickly. If the customer never understood the value proposition that you had, it's easy for them to actually switch because I don't have any attachment to that specific company. Um, so it actually starts by customer satisfaction, right? The value proposition. Okay, once I buy the product, I'm satisfied, right? The next step is when I call for a warranty, um, then that I they really help me and they take care of my warranty, then that customer becomes loyal, right? Now, customer retention increases by what? By me coming back and buying a second product. Now, the, and it ends in customer switching decreasing because I'm very happy with the customer service that you provide me and the value of the products that I buy from you. So that's why we go from customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, customer retention, which we help to increase, and then customer switching decreases because we want to keep them around and they understand that there's big value on it. Now, the value chain is actually how do I communicate and deliver customer service and value inside of my firm. So, value chain, like we talked about last week and we reviewed a little bit ago, is actually understanding that we work with every single department. So, this picture actually demonstrates the reason why we work together. This is the value chain. All of that turning into margin, into profits, into money making. But it's all connected by the primary and support activities that we have in a company. Let's say inbound and outbound logistics, operations, marketing and sales and services. There's even times where our marketing efforts are not noticeable until the end, right? Because it all starts with an idea, and then that idea gets transferred by engineers and all the inside in interior operations. But at the end, we create this marketing plan around that specific product, and then we finish with service. But if you notice, it all matters about the infrastructure, right? Who is the CEO, who's managing the product, who's managing all of this, human resource management, right? The type of people that is being hired for that, and the technology that we're applying to it. And then we have procurement. Now, it all ends in margin, like we said, money making, but at the same time, it's actually the combination of all the departments. So it's very easy as a manager, as a marketing manager, for me to say, yes, I need to work with everybody in my company to be able to make my product successful. Once again, primary activities are inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and then customer service. Like we said last time, service is, so if you have a really, it doesn't matter how much money you spend in marketing, and it doesn't matter how much work you put into your marketing plan and how you change it, the strategy. But if you have a bad customer service and if you have a bad quality product, all of that is going to go to the trash. So remember that if you do not have a good quality product or good customer service, your marketing efforts are wasted. So going into the support activities, what we were just talking about, the firm infrastructure, right? Resource human management, technology development, and procurement. Pretty much all these departments that is hiring and training the right people. Now, let's move into something that you guys might be familiar with, but it's called the marketing plan. The marketing plan is pretty much where we are talking about what's going to happen throughout the year to make sure that the steps that are going to be followed to create the strategies and this, it's pretty much the steps that we're going to follow to make sure that our marketing works. Now, what are you going to see on that marketing plan? You're going to see the budget, right? How much money I'm going to be spending on magazines, how much money I'm going to be spending in promotional products, let's say buying hats, buying t-shirts, buying, cups with the logo of your company, how much money I'm going to be spending on traveling, how much money I'm going to be spending on printed advertising or digital advertising, right? So all of that is going to be on the marketing plan with a purpose, right? So you have a budget, you have a specific competitor section where you say, who are my competitors? What's the type of price that they're offering? But in here, what it says, marketing planning is the ongoing process of developing and implementing market-driven strategies for an organization. The resulting document that records the marketing planning process is a useful framework, is the marketing plan. Now, this is something that let's say, for example, my year starts in January, right? And it ends in December. So when I want to plan for December, for 2023, I am already working on that. So it's October. The marketing plan needs to be approved by the CEO of the company. So I need to get it done by October. Accounting and my CEO approve, the budget that I have. And by December, everything is approved, everything is set the way we want to go, and then we start in January. Now, what's something important that we have to know is that marketing plans are not things that are set in stone. Our goals might be set in stone, but our objectives are always going to change because we see the goal at the end of the tunnel, right? We see the big goal, but how do we get there? It all depends on the external and internal environments that are happening around you, right? So it's something that is always going to be redefined and reworked throughout the whole year. There's companies that create marketing plans for 5 years, for 2 years, but everybody realized that with the change in technology being so fast, now we need to create almost marketing plans, for a year, but it's going to be revised throughout the whole year multiple times. So, and same thing with the budgets, right? For example, in the United States, we have a huge problem with the inflation. So the same dollar that you had, it doesn't buy the same anymore. So now your budget is changing. Now you need reapprovals. Now you need to adjust the things that you're going to do throughout the year, because you might be needing to sacrifice some of that. Which brings us to understanding the big M and the little m, which is marketing and marketing for with lowercase. Now, with that said, for me, this is also something new. It seems like it's a new concept. The big M and the little m, at least, is new for me. First time I see it in a textbook. But what this means is that the big M is actually all the needs of the company. The needs is all, let's say, I need to pay for the rent. I need to pay for the employees. I need to pay for all these things. So the big M is the company, the core business, right? So the little m is actually all the strategies and all the tactics that are being applied to get there. So when we are creating this marketing plan, we have to understand that how many sales am I getting? What are the type of sales that I'm getting, and how much money I'm making for the company? Reason why is because I have to understand what is my monthly cost to run this company, and how am I helping to get there. So that's the little m. Those tactics, those strategies, those programs that you're creating to be able to support the big M. If you guys have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask me at any time, or let me know so I could go back to the chat and help you. But so that's what marketing is. A lot of the times we forget, when we're starting in marketing, we tend to create these beautiful plans, marketing plans that are not profit related. They tend to be all about how much I'm going to be spending on ads, how much I'm going to be spending in trade shows. This is where I want to go to meet some customers. Yes, that's all beautiful and that's all necessary. But at the end of the day, if I'm spending $20, I should be getting, $1,000 back. So that's the conversion that owners of a company want to see. What is my return? And the marketing plan is supposed to talk about that. So it's not just talking about the competitors. It's not just talking about the situation analysis, which we already talked about, which is the SWOT analysis. It's more than that. It's talking about the actual returns that I'm going to get for all my marketing efforts, and how are they going to support the big M. So everyone in an organization must understand and support the concept of customer orientation. All internal organization processes and systems must be aligned around the customer. So at the end of the day, we actually say that our customers, our first customers, is our employees. Reason why we say that our employees are the first customers is because you guys, if the employees are being treated right, they are going to treat right my customers. So I have to make sure that my employees are trained well and well compensated to make sure that my customers past that are going to be treated well as well. Now, we are, like we said, we're working together. We're putting a marketing plan. We're working with corporate to make sure that we're all lining up, our strategies to make sure that the companies are being supported, right? And that we're actually getting returns. And how are we reinvesting that money to make sure that the company keeps growing? So that's all. Although we are marketing department and we're not accounting and we are not profit generating, department, our marketing efforts are, all lined up to make sure that the company is making more money. So What is it? What also do you see on a marketing plan? You also see a mission statement. A mission statement is pretty much the reason for existence. What is my mission as a company? What is it that I want to do? And what's my purpose as a company? Now, the mission statement is followed up by the vision. The vision, and right here what we have is called the strategic vision, is where I want to be. So this is very important for you guys to understand. The mission statement is which one is the reason for me to exist? Why is it that the company is here? And the vision is actually where do I want to be in the next 5 years? Does that make sense? So, any questions so far? Everything making sense?
Sir, I have a question about the big M and the small m for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So maybe if we use the big M, is we use the proper nouns, and you use marketing as a proper noun if we use the capital M, and we use common nouns if we're referring to the small letters. Is that what they're saying, or?
So it's a new concept. What happened to marketing throughout the time is that if you think about it, a lot of the businesses now are online or pretty much internet oriented. So they are almost fully dependable on or dependent on our marketing efforts, right? If we don't have good digital advertising and marketing efforts, the company doesn't make any money. So now that's where we're talking about the efforts that we apply on marketing are more important than ever before because we're going to get profits and returns immediately. And we are dependable on you getting me sales. So a lot of companies skip the process of selling and hiring sales guys to be able to just do it all online and on the internet. So that's why they introduce a concept like this by the big M. Pretty much, we're never going to use it different. We're never going to say, okay, this is marketing and this is marketing with the big M. No, it's just a concept for you to know that now there is more importance on marketing and a small little, your marketing plan is pretty much targeted to be able to create a lot more profits for the company. So before, companies were not so worried about, okay, how much money I'm actually making out of marketing because they had sales groups around and they were more focused on, okay, are these sales reps, salespeople bringing me sales? That's it, their efforts. And they saw marketing as a secondary section and just saying, okay, yeah, marketing is only the group of people that will give me a flyer so I can go to my customers, that could give me a folder with nice graphics. Marketing is just a presence, but it never created sales. The one that created the sales was actually the sales rep. But now what they're saying is there's a big M. The big M is pretty much we're depending on marketing to create sales. Does that make sense? Did that answer your question?
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's not worry.
Thank you very
let's
much.
not worry. You let's not worry about the big M or the small M. It's just a concept that they created. It's never going to be brought up on a meeting. So, okay, let's worry about the big M. No, they're going to say, what type of sales are we bringing? So in real life, I don't think you're ever gonna hear something like that. It's just for us to differentiate in the class.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome. Any other questions? Okay, so now let's move on into goals and objectives. this is very, very important because we tend to get so passionate about our goals, right? So let's say, for example, I want to be the best tennis player, right? But yet again, what I do with my friends is play basketball all the time. And what else do? I play piano. But yet again, my goal is to be a tennis player. So none of the things that I do line up with my goal. And that's where the marketing plan is so important. If I want to be a tennis player, I have to play tennis, right? I have to practice tennis. I have to read about tennis. I have to buy tennis shoes that will be good for tennis. I have to buy the instruments that I need to be able to be a good tennis player. Now, the marketing plan is essentially that. My goal is to create more sales or get a 20% market share or market exposure. How am I going to get there? And my objectives are going to be I am going to spend this amount of money on digital advertising. I am going to create this flyer. So those are objectives that are going to take me to that big goal. So one thing that you guys need to remember is that goals are very broad, right? I'm going to be the best company on creating tennis shoes. But the objectives are really, really specific, and they have to be as specific for you to get step by step. So I want to run a marathon. Okay, first week, I'm going to run 1 mile. Second week, I'm going to run 2 miles. Third week, I'm going to run 4 miles. See how specific I need to get on my objectives. So that is huge for a person on the other side of your presentation for this marketing plan for me to understand. Because yes, we have a goal, but how are you going to get there? And what are those specific objectives that you are measuring? If you guys remember last class, it said, if you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it. So objectives are meant to be measured, goals are not. Goals are just so broad and it's just something that we want to do, but the objectives are the ones that are going to take us there. And what are part of those objectives, right? Are the strategy. The strategy is what's behind all of that. It's like a strategy is a comprehensive plan stating how the organization will achieve its mission and objectives, right? So I already have my objectives. I need to run, I need to do this, I need to do that. But I have a busy schedule. So what's my strategy, right? So if I need to run 1 mile on the first week, what's my strategy? Okay, I know that I work from 8 to 5. I know that I go to school this time. I need to do homework. My strategy is going to be to wake up an hour earlier. That's my strategy, and that's how I'm going to apply it to go run for the first mile. Now, I know that my miles are going to start increasing by week. My strategy is to start waking up earlier to attend that. So there is a specific strategy that is mission and objectives oriented, but there is also a big strategy, which is called the generic strategy, which is the overall directional strategy of the business. The strategy that we're all on the same page and we all understand what's happening. Now, in regards to businesses, when it comes to generic business strategies, it could be something as I want to grow, right? Because my business it's in that stage where I need to make more money, or there's a possibility for me to have we're so different that it gives me the possibility to grow. Now, stability. I want to be able to keep it the way it is, and I want to be, the same distinct company that everybody knows, but I just want to keep it the same way it is. Now, there is another one that is called retrenchment, which is pretty much a weak position that you're in, and you're trying to bring your company back up to the point that is, that is going to make it better again. Now, most of the time, companies that are new are going to have a lot of growth opportunity, right? And this is probably what you're seeing, growth first and retrenchment after. Is because growth is easy when you're small, right? But when you get to a certain size, it's more difficult to grow, but your focus should always be how to keep stable, right? How to continue the current activities, and then you start applying a lot of short-term strategies to be able to not let any of the competitors to come and take your place. Now, retrenchment is when honestly you need to focus on your assets and how we could take my current opportunities to the next level and make myself to have a better competitive position out there. So 3 business strategies are growth, stability, and retrenchment. Now, part of these strategies are actually being different or being focused on a specific market, specific group of people that you're selling to, or simply I am a company that wants to sell a low cost product. I mean, a product, but my strategy is to be able to offer it, build it actually cheaper than anybody else. So by me having a low cost, which is different than price, cost is actually how much it's costing me to create a product. Price is actually how much people is paying for it. So there's these 3 primary categories, which is cost leadership, which means if I produce this product at a lower cost than you as my competitors, then I will be able to lower my price at any point. If you start increasing it, I will be able to lower it so I can get more of that market share. So cost leadership. The next one will be differentiation. It's when I create a product or a service that is completely different and its competitors are really having a hard time to copy it. And then the last one will be a focus, or what we call a niche market. It's a narrow customer group that I'm looking for. So instead of saying I'm going after sports, I am saying I'm going after tennis players. So that's a niche market. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? No? Okay. Perfect. Let me just go back in here real quick. I want to know if there's anything on the chat. Okay, nothing on the chat. Perfect. All right, so let's go back to the presentation. Okay, so as a company, we need to know what we're good at and what our competencies are. Are we distinctive, right? Are we superior than the competitors? Is our product, do we have a competitive advantage? Our product or our service cannot be easily duplicated. And then when we go into the core competencies is, are our activities on the firm doing well, which means are all departments working together, right? Now, there's something that is really difficult, but yet very manageable. So in regards to marketing and marketing plans, we have to look into our internal and external environment. What are the things that could affect our marketing plan and our strategies and our objectives? Something like this could be, let's say, internal environment could be that the marketing manager found a better job, right? That's an aspect. Or your marketing assistant that was really good at making videos and pictures and graphics is no longer with the company. So what happens to that? It really affects the whole marketing plan. Or let's say there was a natural disaster and all of a sudden you need to attend, you need to put your budget into something else instead of the marketing things that you had in mind. So those are internal and external environments that really affect where the company is going. Now, you have a lot more power over the internal environment, of course, because it's your employees, your company, your cost on product and things like that. But you do not have so much control over the external environment. Let's give you an example, which everybody knows is the pandemic, COVID-19, right? COVID-19, it was an external environment that stopped the world. And then all of a sudden, it affected everything and everybody. Now, companies are still trying to recover and are still trying to, work around it. That, in reality, all these companies that had marketing plans, strategies, objectives, and all this stuff, they had to react and they had to create new marketing plans almost every week to be able to understand how to bring new sales and how to keep employees and how to keep everything going at a lower budget. But yet again, right here we have the macro level external environment, which is the political and legal and ethical aspect of it, right? When the government could change laws, and we will share later on between us different laws and different political and legal aspects that could change your marketing, different countries, right? Sociocultural, demographics, technological aspects of it, the economy of the country or the external environment, and natural disasters, like we just said. So the macro is the bigger aspect of country and the world, pretty much. And then we also have the external environment, competitive environment, and the internal environment. So on the competitive environment, you need to find out what's happening out there. Are people buying for price, shopping for price, or they're actually looking for quality? Are new companies coming out, and what are the type of products that they're offering? So in this one, the competitive environmental factors are threat of new entrants, new companies coming in, rivalry among existing firms, right? That's when other companies start lowering their price and things like that. Threat of substitute products, right? Something that is going to be substituting the product that you offer. Let's say, for example, we were talking about the headphones. If I only produce headphones with wire, then when the Bluetooth headphones came out, that's a substitute product that works better, and that's competitor. Now, bargaining power of buyers. So it's how much money your customers are making now, and now you're actually pursuing. They're trying to buy something else, right? Because they have power to buy more. All right. So moving into the next one. So forces driving industry competition right here. It's pretty much potential entrants, supplier, industry competitors, buying power, and substitutes. So you have to understand from the 4 points of view. It's like, who has a better supplier? Who's giving me the material for cheaper? Potential entrants is always on the top of your mind because some new competitors could actually come and copy your product or come with a new product. There's also the buying powers of your customers and products that could substitute. And then we have the internal environmental factors, which is pretty much what we talked about: the leadership, the resources, the internal culture, the structure, and the systems that we have inside. For me, if you take care of your internal factors, you will be good with the other ones. So this works like a family. For those that are married or not married or have kids or anything like that, if you realize that your family is in a very good position, you will definitely have a good day at work. So, if we take care of our internal environment, it's easier for me to manage my external, right? Because if I have a good relationship with my husband or wife, if I have a good relationship with my kids, and let's say COVID-19 hits, which is an external environment, then I have a good environment at home because I have a good relationship with them. Same thing for companies. When a situation like that happens, then my internal environment is better. So I can talk to all the employees and be honest with them. Okay, this is what's happening. We have to react. So I always work, there's a saying that goes like everything starts at home. And that's how I refer to this. If everything is good at home, everything else that comes from the external, it will not affect my results. Also, in regards to the competitive environment, we cannot be focused too much on what our competitors are doing. Reason why is because if we worry about what they're doing, then we will never be the number ones. We should be worrying about what is it that is going to make us different and what are products that nobody can copy. All right, so moving into what we talked already about, which is the SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis, if you guys remember, is the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now, what are these based on? It could be based on your competitive or in your competition, or it could also be internal, where it's actually you analyzing the position that your company is in. So use this template later on, or even use it for yourself. A lot of the times, my students, what they do is that they actually try to analyze, okay, what are my strengths as a person? What are my weaknesses, right? And then I look into, okay, in my external factors, what are my opportunities as a person? And what are my threats, right? Let's say, for example, the older we get, we look at the threats as, oh, new technology coming in, right? My weaknesses, I'm not a really fast learning, right? How about I have a strength? I am a problem solver. So this is a really nice activity that students or any individual could apply to their lives. Now, remember that goals are qualitative because they're broad, and objectives are quantitative. It's just something that you're going to be very specific about. Now, let me move into different strategies in here, like we just talked about. Market penetration, which is actually seeking for, trying to get into the actual market. Product development, create growth by selling new products in existing markets. Market development, introduce existing products to new markets. And diversification, emphasize both new products and new markets to achieve growth. Elements of the marketing plan and the implementation plan is actually forecasting pretty much where are we going to be at the end of the year. What is my budget? Budget meaning how much money I'm supposed to be making, and the appropriate market metrics that I'm going to be using to control my marketing plan. So one of the most important slides out of this. Yeah, go ahead.
Professor?
Yep.
Yeah, shouldn't be the budgeting is how much I'm going to pay or use in my marketing, not the other way around? Yeah. Because you said it's how how much I will get.
Yes, so it is actually used both ways. So it's actually used both ways. So there is for accounting, it's going to be what's your budget for marketing, meaning how much money I'm going to be spending. But from the sales point of view or the owner of the company, it's like, what's the budget? How much money are you trying to hit on developing? So it's actually used both ways. So in this aspect is the forecast, because I'm forecasting on how much money I'm going to make, and what is it that is going to happen with them. And then we create a budget. Budget is going to be both ways. It's going to be the budget that I'm going to be spending, and actually budget in the other area, which is how much money I'm going to be making. So it's used both ways. Very well. Thank you for that question. It's a really good question. For me, it was also confusing when somebody say, okay, what's the budget on your sales? That's actually how much money I'm going to be making. What's my actual goal? Does that make sense?
A little bit.
Yeah, so it's used for both of them. It's used for both of them. You're gonna have okay, what's your budget? And you say, I'm going to be spending $200,000 on marketing, but I'm going to try to hit, $10 million in revenue. That's how much money I'm going to be making. So both of the budgets you mentioned. Okay, so tips for successful marketing planning. This is one of the most important. Stay flexible. There's so many things that happen throughout a year that you have to be flexible when it comes to your marketing plan. You have to be changing it. Don't use for the next PowerPoint that we're going to see, it's going to be a data collecting. But in here, what it's saying is that do not get paralyzed, or don't stop yourself, because so much information and so much analysis is happening. A lot of the times, you got to follow your gut. You got to understand that, oh my God, I really don't think that these numbers are making sense. I really think that we should go this way. And you should also get not so much on quantitative. You're not looking at every number and everything like that, but you're also looking at the quality, that the feedback of the people that is around you giving you. Don't underestimate the implementation part of the plan. You have to implement the things that you are saying that you're going to do. A lot of the times we go on with our year and we don't go back to the plan and look at those things. Give yourself and your people room to fail and try again. Don't be so strict when it comes to marketing. There's areas that, yes, let's say on the spending aspect of it, you could be very strict, but marketing is fun. The reason why is because, you can give yourself a little bit of opportunity to be creative, to be a person that is actually having fun with all the strategies and ideas that you're doing. So all right, that was the PowerPoint for chapter number 3. Any comments, any questions so far? I want to hear from some of you guys. What are some of the things that you remember out of this PowerPoint? Sarah or Rodas? Somebody that wants to participate on this one? Something that you learned out of that PowerPoint? You could go ahead and put it in the chat as well. So what we reviewed, it was very simple, right? Competition, strategies, goals, objectives, a marketing plan. Has any of you guys created a marketing plan before? Or have you been in a discussion with somebody that created a marketing plan for a company? Anybody? Okay. So let me
Professor.
go ahead. Yep.
Actually, the construction of go-to-marketing plan usually differ from a company to another according to its scope or the deliverables in the market, and according to the scope of work she join or do in it. So I never experienced a go-to-marketing plan same for a company like another. the huge differences. Of course, according to scientific way, as Excellency mentioned during the explanation, but usually some differences happen according to the company scope.
You are 100% correct. So that's why it's not as strict. So for every company that I start working with, or let's say I do a little bit of consulting for companies, it's always different. Yes, what are the actual needs of that specific company? But as a marketing manager, the first thing that I do when I walk into a company is I go to the owners of the company and I say, what is it that you guys are looking for? You know, do you just want me to bring you a lot of money, or you're trying to create a brand? Are you trying to create a culture inside of the company? Are you trying to, what is it that you're trying to achieve through me coming on board? So, and like you said, for every company, the marketing plan is not as specific as the other ones, right? Nowadays, there's people that they feel like they know everything about marketing and they apply so many different strategies and so many different metrics that they start driving themselves crazy when it comes to going back and looking at the numbers, right? But there are some businesses that actually require that much analysis, right? But there is some business that, hey, I need to make this amount of money and I need to know how much money I need to spend to make that amount of money. It's as simple as that, right? And then we try to simplify it as much as we can to be able to get to the goal that we want. So it is always going to change. That's 100%. But there is always some commonalities. Let's say, for example, commonalities could be competition, right? Commonalities could be a vision as a company and also my mission. So, and also the plan, it's always going to be based in goals. It's always going to be based on objectives. So no matter what the company is, hopefully when you're creating a plan, even for yourself, for your life, for your career, you have a big goal, which is, let's say, graduating. What are my objectives? I want to be, that's why I put it sometimes like live examples where if I want to be a good tennis player, what are my objectives to get there? Norn, thank you so much for participating and making that comment. Anybody else?
Welcome. Professor, I have another question. It is more general, but in the part I'm working for, I market for a digital electrical solution regarding energy efficiency and environmental solutions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But question happen that people behavior whenever they buy something like cars, mobile phones, they usually get to expensive and branded stuff. So when they go to cars, they want to find something reliable and from certain origins. For example, sometimes people prefer the European origin over the Chinese origins, and they are willing to pay so much to find something that in mobile phones, for example, we buy iPhone, Samsung, and we ignore some other brands which are not as famous as those ones. And we also pay a lot for that. But when it comes to products, I know the nature of the product is different, of course, but products like the digital solution are actually more important than our cars or than our mobile phones because they provide and electricity and all this stuff. People prefer the low price products. I don't know why, and I don't know the nature of these products to be like the cars and phones for people.
So Okay, so the reason why that happens is because of priorities and status. So when I started the class today, it was a reminder that, uh, people really run by status and what is it that it's, you know, if I buy a car that is, let's say, like you just said, Chinese brand compared to, a German car, um, it's a status, right? I feel like I'm buying something just because of the position of the other company. They they make me feel in a different way. Now, what happens with that? We go back to the message that we're trying to convey. So a lot of the times, companies, there's so many different good products out there that do not have a good marketing strategy when it comes to that because we're so focused on um, talking about the product features, but not so much on the benefits of it. So, so it's funny, like what you just mentioned. Can that be my marketing? You know, something as simple as my banner saying, "You spend money on these things, but not on this, and you are sacrificing this." Um, so why is it that people do it? Just because of a status. So to answer your question, it's just a status. We know that there's other brands out there, but if, let's say, for example, in my country, in Colombia, um, if I don't own an iPhone, I don't have a status. It's almost like if I don't wear this type of brand, I don't have a status. So um, if I was to, show people, hey, I have this Chinese phone. It works really well, and it has worked better than the iPhone I had. Then it's going to create a word of mouth, but it's going to take a long, long time. So um, now, with that said, it's just a status on how we make people feel about these other services or products that they're purchasing. Now, Nora, let me ask you once again, what is the product in a specific or service that you're offering, that you're mentioning?
I work for a manufacturer who do switch gears is like electrical, heavy electrical equipment which supply electrical uh, electricity large networks. And they are in a lot of forms like digital form, which you can monitor everything and basic forms. So this is my main product I'm selling in a simple way. And this product's actually very, yes.
No, go ahead. This product is actually
yes, please continue.
So
essential. Yes.
Okay, it's essential. Okay. So this product.
Yes, I think there is a delay. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, so let me just picture this, and so all the students also picture it, and we could comment. The product that you offer is you guys manufacture all the wires and everything else, so the internet's better. Is that
okay, I want to make it easier. We have electrical networks globally. We generate electricity, we distribute it till it reaches our homes. So to do this network, we need equipment.
Okay.
This equipment is manufactured by my manufacturer, yes. And this equipment have a very big range and variabilities. They are infinite, I guess, and have a lots of alternatives and solution, and add to them like digitalization to make the process easier and monitor and you can have some control over this electrical networks. Is it simpler now?
Yeah. So,
okay.
so once
Can
again,
I ask something?
Go ahead, Ahmed. Go ahead.
Okay. So if I'm correct in my understanding of Noran issue, is that she is saying that she is saying that she is facing difficulty when like some people, or what she is facing, like when some people buy mobile or phone or car, they choose the best, and some other times for hair product, for example, they prefer to go to a lot cheaper ones, right? Am I right, Noran?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Also, from my perspective, they are very essential products because they are the source of our electricity. They have to be good equipment, reliable, expensive to provide me reliable system of electricity to prevent any blackouts or any energy cutouts from the network. So they are very essential. Yes.
Let me ask something. Okay, and Professor, feel free to interrupt, please. If you are going to like make your house and start from all the electrical, basics, okay, are you going to the most best brand? It's your own house. Are you going to the most best brand, or you are going to an okay brand?
No, I will go for the reliable brand. I will
reliable
first,
and
so I will see
best.
what's basic. Yes.
Right.
But do not see this way, because when you deal with clients, you don't with the funder part. You don't deal with the one who is going intermediate channels like designers, contractors.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
Yes,
it's a personal benefit.
So it is not their home, actually.
Sorry?
It is not their home when you deal with them.
I know. I'm coming to you. Okay. So there is a difference between personal benefit and public benefit. Okay. If I am making my own house, okay, then definitely I will try to go for the best and most trusted thing. I might compromise on the price and pay more, okay, but in order to have an electricity grid in my house that can last 20 or 30 years without any issues, I will do this because it is my personal benefit. But if I am, for example, working in a factory and I am requested to put or to buy an electrical grid that prevent from shortage, okay, and I have a certain budget, and it is always, it is better not to exceed the budget, but even, if you can save on it, it will be better. So what I will do, okay, I will go for an okay product that fulfill my requirement, just my requirement, okay, unless I am personally involved in this factory, so I consider it my own work or my own factory. So definitely I will do. Who you are talking to? Are you talking to an engineer, or you are talking to an owner? This is my thinking. If you are talking to an owner, okay, you can make it as the professor said, or as we are studying also, related to the value that this owner will get. And the more you get, you show the benefits directly to the owner, okay, the more likely he will get involved, or he will be willing. But if you go to a mediate or someone in the middle, okay, of course they have a budget, and of course they want to save. I don't want to say steal, but At least they want to save. Let's say let's talk in good intentions. They want to save as much for the company. Am I right, Professor?
Yes, I mean both of you guys are right at different aspects. I want to hear Judeline. She's been trying to. I'll go back to you, Ahmed, but I want to see Judeline. She mentions right here. Okay, so you both talking about products that have quality versus price. Do I understand? Yeah. So Judeline, do you have any comments in regards to that? Okay, just put it on the chat if you have any comments about it. In regards to Ahmed, like you just said, so this is actually the like the final step when you're talking about going to the end user. Now, Norin, what we're seeing in here is putting ourselves in the position of the customer. We have to see as a company, okay, I totally understand where you're coming from. You have a beautiful product and you value it a lot more because listen to what you just said. You have a lot more information about the product than a regular person. So a lot of the times, all that information that you know as the manufacturer, you're not communicating it very well to the end user. Now, with that said, I recommend that you go back to the step number one. Who is our customer? You know, who is our customer and how much money are they willing to spend on this? Who is our customer and who is the type of people that we're going after? Because, you know, in your position, it's easy to start just trying to find a way to lower the price to compete with all these other people that sometimes it doesn't make sense for you. It makes sense for you to only target a certain niche market that are going to be willing to pay for your product. Now, what Ahmed was saying, he was saying is that, yes, are we actually communicating that value to the right person and to the right companies? So we waste I have the same problem that you have, Norn. On my company, we produce a specific trailer, the ones that you pull with your truck, and it's for construction and things like that. And the quality is, you know, above all of the other brands, but I cannot lower my price to try to compete with the other brands because I do put work and all that stuff. But the features and the benefits that my product brings, it's really hard to explain at times. So now, like Ahmed was saying, is like if you put yourself in the customer position, and I don't have the insight of the information that you have from the product, like you know it, then I'm never going to go for that specific more expensive product, right? Because I'm gonna go for the cheap one because I think it's good enough for me. I don't have enough information. That's one of the things that I heard the other day when it comes to business is like people is not taking time to make a decision. They simply don't have enough information. And sometimes they have too much information. So Noran, let's say for example, in your case, we tend to bombard the customer by so many different features and benefits that the product offers. But yet at the end of the meeting, we're not really conveying anything, right? Also, another thing that I've learned from manufacturers that create really good products is that they're very product oriented and they're very engineering oriented. But you also have to think about how can I make this complicated product and all the benefits into a really simple exposure. They always say the best marketing, it's always think that you're communicating with somebody that is in third grade in the school, right? Or somebody that is 10 years old will be able to understand it. So sometimes we overcomplicate our marketing, and it makes it really difficult for a customer to understand the values and the benefits and the features that are going to bring. So, and it could be as simple as charts that are very straightforward. Okay, I know my competitors. And if you were to show it to somebody and you say, my competitor, look at the value of the other competitor, look at my value. I'm sure you guys have tried something like that, but I do always recommend to go back to square one. Who is my customer? Is it even worth it for me to go for these low value customers compared to the big ones, right? Put yourself in the position of other manufacturers. You mentioned the car industry. The car industry, there is differentiation. There is the positioning, the German product or the Italian product, right? So you go from Chinese, let's say Korean, then we go Japanese, right? And then we go German, and then we go Italian, right? That's when we see a Lamborghini, that's when we see Ferraris and things like that. And then we also have the British and all that stuff. But let's say we compare, you are the Lamborghini of your, of your industry, but you're trying to sell it as if you were the Japanese or the Chinese, right? So try to sell it as if you were the Lamborghini, and don't overcomplicate yourself trying to go for the same customer in here. Although you are the manufacturer, so you know that you could meet this price point for the lower cost, but always try to go for this one. And that's when you do an analysis of how much money I need to bring and how many customers I need to bring. If I bring 10 good quality customers, it's better than bringing 60 of those lower costs and waste my time trying to chase them. Lauren, does that make sense? Does that help you in a sense? Lauren?
Actually,
Yeah.
sir, I have we already have tried these options, but not always in the customer is available. For example, in my country, most of the projects are the government and the military forces. For example, it is not always accessible to reach somebody government or in the military forces. So your end customer is not available for you to have a discussion with him. And the budget preference is always initiated by them to be the lowest as much as possible. So the only way to say for him that you have to increase your budget is to communicate with him, and this is almost impossible. You know that if you go for him, you can make an influence to him to buy your product and at your price, but you cannot reach him. So the only way I can communicate with him is through my mediates, the channels in the middle. So this is the
struggle.
This is my question. Yes, this is my problem, that I have only the mediates to speak with them. So I have to change their perspective so they can communicate the new perspective to the client, because the client is unreachable for me.
Yeah, I've dealt with that. Of course, United States has, a lot more different customers in that aspect, in that specific industry. Now, I deal a lot with the military, and I work a lot with the government. So what happens is that, yes, like you just said, to get there, it's difficult. They also have a budget and things like that. And yes, there is a middle person. It's very difficult. Now, with that said, I honestly feel like it's almost like you should make your brand the number one and only for safety purposes. So for this, as much as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, safety is huge for the government, military, and things like that. So safety is going to be your way in. Correct me if I'm wrong. How am I going to emphasize it? So how am I going to emphasize safety through my product? And like you just said, reliability, but safety and reliability. So the materials that you use, some of those things you could around the corner, like it's almost like I'm going around. I'm not saying you got to mouth or say bad things about the other people, but you're saying, I'm telling you, this is going to fail and it's going to hurt somebody to the point that they're going to make your company the only one that they're going to chase. Reason why is because they're going to say, Lawrence company is the only one that offers this thickness on this wire or this type of equipment. For safety purposes, the government is not going to buy anything else. And then you will have all the competitors trying to find what you have. So I will go back in this aspect, the engineering, and understand what is that differentiation that we have that we could emphasize so much. There's two things in marketing. There's something called the pull strategy and the push strategy. What does that mean? I either push it for them to buy it, or I make them find it their way and buy it from me and actually look for me, because I am the only one that offers that specific material, that specific quality, that specific safety feature, or specific safety, equipment that nobody else does. So I will go back to that differentiation. And once you get one little opening to talk or to get there, everybody else is going to be asking for that specific differentiation. So it happened to me with the product that I have, and for me was just a difference between couple of inches. I had to change my product couple of inches to make it wider, my trailers, for them to now say, that's the safety thing that we need. That's what we need. And every request now comes with that differentiation point that they say, if it doesn't have that many inches, I'm not going to take it. And that's when the budget is something fake, because the budget is something that they're going to be, if it's in regards to safety, I'm willing to pay whatever they want to pay. Does that make sense, Nora?
Yes, sir.
So I, like, once again, go back to that differentiation. Try to find something in regards to the government. It's all about safety and it's all about the budget. If you present two companies to me and none of them, if both of them look the same on paper, then of course I'm going to go for the cheaper one. But if you present to me with something that is so different than the other ones, the way that are being presented, and there is a safety feature, and there's something that says people is not going to die, almost to that point, right? And this is the product that is approved by the government, then all these customers are going to come to you and they're going to look for you. So in an aspect, look for all the disasters that have happened with the other companies, right? Really do your research on your competitors, because they might be offering the same thing that you do. But if they do not, then look at all the bad things that have happened with them. So when you show your proposal, it has all the bad things, and your goal is going to be saying safety first. Look at how many people, let's say, for example, how many people died when this failed, and it happened because this company didn't do this. We do it, right? Look at how many people got hurt because of this, right? And if you present those facts to them, And later on, the government is going to say, that's the one that I want, and that's the one that we need. I take the other ones away. That's just more customer specific, because I know government, it's all about safety. And when it comes to safety and saving, our military, our individuals, they need the best quality no matter what the budget is. So hopefully that helped a little bit on that aspect, and that helped you to answer that question. And I think that it's going to go back to the engineering and the manufacturing and differentiation. Ahmed, do you agree? Do you see where we kind of met in the middle on that?
Yes, I see now.
Okay. Noran, hopefully that was somewhat helpful, right? It's not so much on the marketing aspect of it, but it's on the back end and how we sell the idea to everybody else. All right, moving forward, I want to go ahead and do you guys want to take like a 5-minute break, or you guys are okay to keep going? Give a thumbs up if in the chat or
break, please.
All right.
Yes,
Let's perfect. Let's reconvene. 5 minutes. So it's for me it's 7:33. I know 33 will be our common number. So 38 we reconvene. All right. So
Thank you.
I'll be here, but go ahead. Okay, I'm back in here. Give it about a minute. I feel like that break was much needed, right? Jodeline was sharing the coffee is life.
Yeah, I cannot start my day without a coffee.
I love it. I love to hear your voice. Thank you. Yeah, no, coffee. It's I don't know. It's just it seems like is there anybody in here that in their country or where they're currently living they don't drink coffee? Yeah, everywhere I've gone, coffee it's the thing, right? The morning coffee, afternoon coffee. Um, Anybody in here that doesn't drink coffee? I think everybody's taking a break. Ahmed, do you drink coffee?
No, not concentrated like not like espresso or something like that. But I drink Starbucks. I drink
Okay.
mocha or something like that, Nescafe, but not coffee. No,
Okay.
I'm not a fan.
All right. All right. No problem. But it is still part of your culture
Uh,
or not?
Tea is more like it. Like
Okay. Eat more. Okay. Perfect.
coffee is
Yeah.
like for top people, managers and like this. Yes, they
Really?
drink coffee. Yeah, it's
Wow.
not because of expensive or something. No, it's
No,
it's
Ahmad, don't tell
it,
me that I'm old, so I'm taking coffee.
so you're a big boss.
You're a big boss. Uh yeah, wow. You know what? Wow. So tea is more okay, more popular. Yeah,
For
yeah,
Egypt,
it's not.
yes, tea is the most popular and cheap drink. You can go to a coffee shop, stay there for a couple of hours and get a cup of tea or two cups of tea and pay like pennies. But I'm talking about the public coffee shops. It's like in the streets, not in a
Yeah,
mall or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or maybe because in your country, Ahmad, you are all fan of the herbal like that?
Uh, we are all what?
Herbal, because mostly tea is herbal, right?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. But there are people that they adore coffee. They can't live without coffee. They can't start their day or even go through the day without coffee. But majority tea.
Mm. Yeah, and it seems like tea is a lot healthier. Yeah. The coffee does
No,
have
not particularly.
really okay.
Not particularly. Yeah, because some of the side effects of tea, if you drink it a lot, it reduces the absorption of iron in the body
Yeah, yeah,
absorption of
that's the
iron.
doctor. That's the doctor told to me because I'm taking a iron supplement. So this stability the
Exactly.
tea. Yeah.
Okay, but also the negative side effects of coffee, it increase the blood pressure. I cannot drink coffee.
Yeah, we don't
I
even know
cannot
what we can
drink
drink.
too much coffee.
Too much coffee. That's right. Hmm. I guess
You
one of
know,
the rules in
people
life
here,
is go ahead.
Yeah, people here, your boss is exhausted if you don't drink coffee. But if you get coffee, you are good. Their mood will change good. It's just like every day the routine here is to take coffee.
It's for a better mood, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can see how that happens, but it's all mental, right? It's all mental because there's times that I drink coffee in the office just because I've been sitting on my desk and I just need to taste something, right? It's not even for the effect um of I need to wake up or anything like that. It's more like I just need to taste something, and having the coffee on the side just helps me, right? But there is, if you have a beautiful view and if you're sitting outside or anything like that and you have a cup of coffee like today on a Sunday, it makes a difference. For me, I also love just chocolate, hot chocolate and milk. It sounds very childish, but I love that too. I grew up drinking a lot of hot chocolate when I was little in Colombia, so um, that's very popular out there. And you know, all right. So is everybody back? Norin, are you back? Rodas, are you back?
Yes,
Ko, are you
sir.
back? All right, Norin, do you
Yes,
drink
I'm here.
coffee? Rodas, perfect. Norin, do you drink coffee? Nope.
I drink hot
Gaviria?
chocolate, actually.
You drink hot
I don't
chocolate? I
drink
love it.
coffee. Yes.
Rodas, do you drink coffee?
Usually when I plan on staying up late, when I plan on studying and working up late, yes. But here in Ethiopia, there's a tradition where we have to drink 3 rounds of coffee, like every day. So it has a name too. So like there's we prepare this coffee ceremony with all the cups we use. They're called sinis. They're very tiny, so we have to drink 3 times, 4 times. They have names, the rounds also. So yeah, traditionally it's
Wow.
very famous here. Yes.
Oh wow, we are learning lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
It's very famous. Yes, you should Google. It's
Yeah.
very, very famous. Yes.
So it's funny because in Colombia we also have, they get surprised sometimes when I drink the coffee. Let's say in the United States we're used to these amount of coffee, right? But in Colombia we're supposed to, just a little bit, and that's our cups, right? Um, but like you said, for you, it's a ceremony. In other parts of the country, it's a ceremony for tea, right? Tea time, right? So I'm gonna look it up definitely. Um, okay, so let's move on. So we could keep going with our class and then the Sunday as well for some of us. Um, all right, so we have Olia. I think he was trying to opinionate. All right. So I haven't heard Sarah, or I know Ko is also, multitasking. And Olia, please, participate as much as we can. Um, said I take tea, not coffee. Okay, perfect. All right. So I want one person that could help me with the soft skill today, which is integrity. Can somebody help me to know what integrity means? Or what is it that you think it means? One person. Uh, oh yeah, you want to help me? You want to put on the chat if what integrity is? What do you think integrity is, Olia? Oli? While he's typing, Judeline, you want to go ahead and help me and find?
Yeah, when I heard the word integrity, I just see it's about honesty. Is that correct or wrong?
I'll I'll go in a little bit. There's different definitions. So, Rodas, what do you think? When you hear the word integrity, what does it mean to you?
Just like Judilyn said, honesty. Well, yeah, honesty.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it can be it can be related to a moral integrity.
Lauren,
yeah,
you have a comment to this?
From my side, actually, it is one of my company policies and slogans. So it's related to being more to be generally ethical and having some limitations related to morals. Rhodes explained. Uh, it's like when somebody's dealing with a client and he tried to offer something for me, I have to say no, and I have to say to my superiors that happened and reported. So it is about ethical behavior overall.
100%. So all of you guys are right. So the best definition that I have found for integrity was actually similar to what you guys were saying about the moral principles, the right and the wrong, but it's doing what is right and not what is convenient. Like Lauren just said, there has been times where clients have offered me something, but I had to say no. It would have been convenient to say, oh yeah, I'm taking it because maybe it's money and maybe it's helping me to pay my bills. It's convenient. Or if somebody's helping me and it's convenient for me to get their help, but is it right for me to take advantage of this moment? No. So we got to think about, okay, if they were to do it to me, would I like that? Right? So I do what is right, not what is convenient. A lot of the times, just because it's convenient for me, it doesn't mean that it's convenient for the other person. So that's why it's important to say, if I was to be in your position, I wouldn't want that person to do it to me. So it is, as by definition, is the quality of being, um, of having strong moral principles and more uprightness. A lot of the times we discuss between what is right and what is wrong, but at the end of the day, we know it's somewhat like the basic rule of saying, if they were to do it to me, would that be okay? You know, if I was in Noren's position, if I was to be the business owner and my employee did something wrong, I would be upset. So I have to put myself in their position. Why is integrity so big in soft skills and marketing? Because of what Noren just said, the ethical part of it, the part that you need to understand that everybody around you, it's also affected by, the things that you do, the things that you say, the way you act, the right things or the wrong things that you do. So last week we talked about empathy, and this week we talk about integrity. Make sure that it's very personal. In business, integrity gets a little bit on the gray area because sometimes businesses just have to make money and things like that, but do not ever let that guide you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you want to be able to go to sleep in peace, right? You want to be able to go to sleep and say, I didn't do anything wrong to hurt anybody today, right? And that is better than actually owing a lot of money to somebody, right? I know that debt or credit cards and things like that sometimes affect our days, because we have to pay these back and all that stuff. But if I hurt somebody emotionally, or I do something wrong, or I take advantage of somebody, that affects a lot more than just money wise, right? Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Was that a good? Yeah. So some of these soft skills that I mentioned, we have vague, vague definition. So for me, integrity is doing the right thing and not the one that is convenient. And it's so easy to just let yourself go for what it's convenient. Let's say, for example, in the United States and in Colombia, the two countries that I can speak for, you have to cross the street on something that is called the zebra, right? The lines that you have to go. You have to go to the traffic light and cross the street. Is it inconvenient? Yes. Do I have to walk until the traffic light and cross the street? It's inconvenient, but it's the right thing to do. What is sad is that in Colombia, the traffic light is out there. I could cross the street here. I'm just going to run. But it's the right thing to do. No, it's convenient, but it's not really the right thing to do. Why is it not the right thing to do? Because cars are passing by, because, somebody could get affected, some accident you could create, all these other things, right? So integrity, have integrity in everything that you do, and have integrity when it comes to the people that is around you. Respect them if you want to be respected. These are basic concepts that we apply, but we tend to forget because money gets involved, because respect and resentment gets involved. So very important. Okay, let's move on. Thank you so much for participating on this one. So we have empathy so far, and we have integrity. It's huge for business. Now, I'm gonna share my screen again to run through the PowerPoint really quick. And then you guys tell me if it's actually working. Let me see, start screen. Please confirm that you see my screen.
Yes, I can see.
Perfect. All right, so market management, chapter number 4. Chapter number 4 actually talks about good marketing decisions, what we talked about, but it's mainly about decisions that we make based on data and market research. So for all of you guys, we just discussed about things that, why is it that my product is not hitting the right people? Why is it that we're not selling it off, right? So it's all based on the market research. A lot of the times we skip a lot of the steps to get there because we just assume that there's certain things and certain people and certain products that are going to work. But a lot of the times we are lacking the right information at the right time and presenting it in the right format. So marketing research could be very deceiving and could be a waste of time, or it could actually be really good. Why am I saying that marketing research could be a waste of time? Because a lot of the times you don't know what you are looking for. So you might think that your problem is this, but then it ends up being another one. And then you already wasted a lot of resources to find information about the wrong problem. So how do we solve that? Really spend some time identifying the problem. Really, really, really spend time identifying the problem. And a lot of the times it just takes you with a piece of paper or a whiteboard and start writing down different things until you get to the actual problem. You want to be able to do that before you create something that is the market information system, which is the system that you're going to create to collect all the information that you need. But once again, this applies to real life too. A lot of the times we might be fighting with a friend. You might be fighting with our significant other, wife or husband, boyfriend or girlfriend. And we forget about what the real problem is. And if we were to analyze the real problem first, then everything else will be much easier to dissolve and to find out. So, so once we know what the problem is, then we start collecting information. We create our own system. What is the system? What is the information that should be collected, right? What are the needs of the information that we're trying to get? And also, what is the privacy and confidentiality that we need to get from that information, right? And how much access we could get to some of that information. Stop me at any time if you have any questions, okay? So really know what type of information you're looking for based on the problem that you identify. Collecting information inside of the company. Sometimes we forget to ask our own employees to see what they think about the product, you know? We forget to ask our own employees if they were to be the customers, what is it that they think? So the internal aspects of it are so important. Now, in regards to the company, we call internal information sources the ones that we collect directly from the customers, which is what? When somebody inquires about my product, what type of information do they give me? How many orders are coming in, and what is my customer relationship management software telling me? Like how often the customers come back, right? How much money are they spending for every interaction they have with my company? Customer payments, right? A customer payments could tell me everything about a customer. Are they paying me right away? Are they taking 10 days to pay me? 30 days, 60 days? Marketing plans, the marketing plans, management documents, salesperson, right? Your salesperson is the one that is interacting with the customers directly. So in that aspect, all of that is information that we need to collect to be able to understand the data that we're trying to solve the problem. So like for example, right there, order fulfillment, identify the frequency and the size of the custom orders, determine the actual cost of a customer order, rank customers based on established criteria like profitability, which ones make me more money and which ones make me less. A lot of the times when it comes to the customers, we realize that there's customers that order a lot of product, but they don't really make me a lot of money because they get discounts because they order in bulk, and they don't really make me a lot of money. So you have to understand where the profit is coming from. Calculate the efficiency of the company production and distribution systems. Now, collecting data, information that we get, from the outside, interpretation of the data, distribution of the data, formal systems collecting data. So we're going to go into the aspects of how is it that we're going to collect data? What type of data do we want? There is something that is called the primary data, and there's something called the secondary data. Primary data, it's data that is collected for your specific problem, and you are collecting it for that reason. And it is information that you are collecting on your own. There is something called the secondary data. Secondary data is the data that is already existing, and it might help you to solve that problem, but it does not automatically apply to your problem. It's just something similar that some other company applied, so that's why it's called secondary, because the primary is made for your specific problem. Now, when it comes to collecting information from the outside factors. These are the decision makings or areas that we need to analyze, right? Economic conditions, political conditions, the world in general, right? Technology factors, competition, demographics, population of interest, ethnics, geographic changes. So a lot of the times, like Norma was saying, it's this aspect, it's understanding the customer and understanding what are the factors that are affecting their decision factors. And in here, political, legal environment, right? Economic conditions. So these are factors that are going to affect their decision making. And that's the data that we're trying to collect on the external demographics, economic, technology, competition, political, the world, natural disasters, and things like that. So, what happens once we have marketing, marketing information and marketing research? We are more informed about what's happening out there, which helps us to make, better decisions when it comes to that. So, what is the process of the marketing research? It starts by something simple: define the problem. Make sure you define, and I cannot emphasize this enough, really define the problem. Think about it in your relationship, think about it in your life, think about it in general. A lot of the times it takes us a lot of work to define what the problem is. But once we define what the problem is, it's easy to do the rest. So establish a research design, secondary sources. Let's say I go on the internet, it's a secondary source because it's something that I'm doing on my, it's just something that I was used for different projects, but I could use it on mine. Collect the data, analyze the data, and then report the findings. Okay, now that I know the problem and I have the findings, then I can put it together and say, this is how I could actually solve the problem. Now, once again, if we define a really good, the problem, if we define the problem, we really have to know what we're going to do with that information. So, questions that we have is what kind of research needs to be done? What kind of data do we need? How should we collect the data? And what do we need to know in regards to these data? And what is it that we're trying to get out of the data? Who should be included in the research, right? Now, I have been in scenarios where there's so many numbers and data collected that it doesn't mean anything. So there's now people that is hired as a data analyst and they spend multiple days and multiple years trying to get to the bottom of the data and things like that, but they don't really know what they're looking for. So they're going to spend a lot of money and a lot of time just trying to look for this, but they don't find what they're looking for. It could have been some simple, it could be just one number. In regards to marketing, it's very simple. If I create this campaign, I want to measure it by how many customers get here and how many of those convert to become sales. So we got to treat it that way, okay? If I send this flyer, my measurement is people calling me about the flyer, and then my next measurement is how many of those people that called I was able to close. Very simple. And that's how it should be on everything that you apply in marketing. Now, types of research: explanatory research, descriptive research, casual research. Explanatory research is to clarify the research problem, develop hypotheses for thesis testing in descriptive and causal research. So it's pretty much answering the research question, gain additional insight to help in survey development or identify research. That will be explanatory research. Target population, we get a little sample. Descriptive research is more about the description and how customers use our products. Now, there's many differences on ages, education, and income on how these products are being used. And also part of that descriptive is how our competitors actually are taking action to compete with us in regards to the way that their customers, use our products. There is the next one, which is causal research, which is something like this: the benefit versus the cost, time until the decision, nature of the decision, availability of data. So these are the things that will create a causal research. I want to know what type of research I need to do to find out how much they're supposed to pay for that specific product. Now, once again, it's a reminder of the primary data, which is used and collected just for that specific project, and the secondary data was collected for other purposes, but we can still use it. Qualitative research, which is more about the quality of the research. There is also right here something called the quantitative research, is when we actually look at the statistical part of it. So marketing is a combination of qualitative and quantitative. Although I could get a lot of numbers from Excel documents and things like that are specific, there is still one part that is very human-like. You as a human, you have your instinct and you have your beliefs, and you think that your company should be going this way. So it's a combination of actual analytics and numbers, but it's a combination of also the human aspect of it, which you have as the marketing manager. There is research techniques, which could be a focus group. Focus group is when we're 6 to 10 people sitting on a meeting and we ask questions. In-depth interview is mainly when you have one-to-one and I interview you about the type of product that you're using. And then we also have descriptive research right here, which are examples of descriptive, which could be surveys, behavioral data, or observational data, which you guys have probably seen over experience, where all of a sudden there's somebody, giving you a free product, and they step away and they see how you interact with the product. So that's observational data. They're actually looking at you after they give you this free product. Now, so what are the main important things when we're looking, for something and doing research? We have to look at the amount of people that we interview, right? How much do they know about our product? How much are they really involved in that industry? So for us, it's really important to understand what is it that we need to know from them, and what are the type of questions that we are generating for them in order to know how many we need to be involved in our research, how many people, and what are the type of questions that we need to ask them to get to the point that we want. Now, of course, for secondary research that you guys can see right here, it's government resources, market research organizations, or simply the internet, which the internet became kind of like our #1 research tool for secondary research. But there is a lot of bad data out there. So what do we do? What's the research process? We collect the data, we analyze the data, and then we report the findings. Online resources, statistical softwares like Excel, and then we have right here primary data and secondary data. Now, any questions so far? Are we still awake?
Yes,
okay,
we are here.
So, so with that said, that it's a very important aspect of marketing, research. But nevertheless, you understand these concepts. It doesn't mean that you let that rule your decision making. Okay. Now, there is some data that is necessary, like collecting the return on your investment, like knowing how what is the age of the people that buy your product. It's mainly females or males. Um, what is the type of income that they have? So this is data that is going to be collected, and hopefully it's accurate, which data it's never 100% accurate, but this is going to give you an idea, but it doesn't determine your decision. So keep that in mind. No matter how much data you collect, it's not going to determine your decision. It's going to influence it, but it's not going to determine your decision. One thing that I knew a long time ago is that decisions are actually emotional. So a lot of people think that decisions in business are rational, and it's not true. We could collect a lot of research that is very influential and very clear and specific, but at the end of the day, the one that makes the decision is the emotions. Does that make sense? Can somebody say, yes, I understand that, there are rational emotions and there's also emotional emotions. Um, uh, does anybody have a comment about that? So with that said, keep that in mind that primary, secondary research, very important. The type of information that you collect, make sure it has a purpose. And before you collect information, make sure you identify the problem. And that applies to everything in life. Identify the problem before you start shooting solutions, because you could waste a lot of resources and waste a lot of money and a lot of time, which is more valuable. All right, guys, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover today. So thank you so much for those that attended the course today. Please, once again, use this link. Use this link again for our meeting next Sunday. And I want to make sure that all of you guys have the book. So those that said that the book was available, can you guys please tell the other students where you guys found it? Sean, I believe you said that you didn't have access to the book, right? Or somebody else said.
Yes, sir. We also need PowerPoint, sir. Right now we don't have any yet unmuted, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Judeline, did you have access to the book, or Ahmed?
Actually, no, because it's Thanksgiving here, so it's holiday, so I didn't have time to access it. Maybe, but after I will try.
Okay. There was a couple
It's
people
available
that had
on Moodle already.
Okay, in where in Moodle? Where in Moodle?
Okay. Well, in the first thing like after the announcement directly. Once you click on marketing management, there is announcement and there is marketing management, Marshall 4E. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
They can click on it and it will automatically start saving.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
But
guys,
it's huge book. It's almost 150 megabytes.
Okay, so I know there was a question about being able to get it online on a PDF. Oh, nice. In the chat, it says right there on the chat, you guys can see the screenshot that Coach just shared. And you could upload it to be PDF. apparently. So that's very, very good. I know at the beginning of the class there was somebody that asked for the PDF, so it's available on there. Well, thank you guys. You guys enjoyed the rest of the Sunday. I will see you guys next Sunday during the week. Let's keep practicing and read the chapters that are coming at, which will be chapter number 5 and number 6. And thank you guys for attending the course. So I'll see you guys next Sunday.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Have a
Have
nice
a great day.
Thank you. You guys too. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Jodalyn. Thank you so much.